Nintendo fans and everybody who loves action-adventure open-world games rejoice, because after 6 years we are almost to the release of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's right, Link and Zelda are back in a new open-world action-adventure game that recently we've got to see a ton of new footage about and will only continue to get more and more of as time goes on. So today we're going to break down all the things that we know so far about Tears of the Kingdom. Welcome everybody to the Lumberzak Gaming channel, your place for friendly, quality gaming content. That's right, there is already so much that we know about this game, from the story to some new enemies to new areas. All of that and more is what we're going to be going over in this video, so make sure to stick around to the end so you don't miss a thing. With that being said, we're not going to waste any more time and dive right on into it. In Tears of the Kingdom, the desiccated corpse of Ganon has arisen from beneath Hyrule Castle, and the tendrils of malice have started to spread once again. Tears of the Kingdom is going to build onto the world of Hyrule that we experienced in Breath of the Wild, and one of the biggest differences is that the skies have been opened up with floating islands and dungeons that we have never experienced before. So yes, while the map of this game is very similar to Breath of the Wild, it is still Hyrule. There's plenty of changes that have occurred and new vertical spaces that we're going to be able to experience from beginning to end. And a decent amount of the areas that we've already experienced in Breath of the Wild have been changed over the course of time and been affected by the malice that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Now, one of the things that we can see from the trailers is the fact that Link's arm completely gets devoured by this malice, this corruption, as well as the Master Sword. So in Tears of the Kingdom, Link is definitely getting a new arm with some new powers, and the Master Sword is going to get a new look, and we have that confirmed by the Master Sword being there on the logo for the game. I do wonder if we should change the name of the Master Sword, because clearly, it's not the Master. Either way, it looks like we're probably going to get some really creative new ideas when it comes to weapons and variations from the Master Sword throughout Tears of the Kingdom. Now, one of the things that we're going to see from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom is the return of these labyrinths. In Breath of the Wild, there were 3 of these labyrinths, 3 mazes that you needed to make your way through and complete. Now, the reason this makes a difference in Tears of the Kingdom because they are now floating in the sky. At least a couple of them are. There's actually footage from the new trailers that show that they were in the ground at one point, and now they are floating in the sky. So at some point, something in the story is going to cause this to happen. Now, obviously, one of the common themes about Tears of the Kingdom are all the buildings and dungeons and things that are floating in the sky. And almost all these things that we've seen so far are brand new structures. However, these labyrinths are not new. Something has caused them to go from the ground to fly up in the air. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, what made them take off. If you look at them too, they also look much deeper than what you probably would have anticipated from the experience in Breath of the Wild. I believe there was one of these labyrinths that had like a basement area in Breath of the Wild. However, these things look massive when they're floating in the air. Now, one of the new things that we get to see in Tears of the Kingdom was actually teased quite a while ago, and it's these green spirals of like light and energy. In this first trailer, we actually see it like twirling around this malice that's taking over the land. But it looks like we get to see a little bit more of it in these newer trailers. These look like discoverable locations, like things that we're going to have to go to, whether to activate or to use. Some people have speculated that these are going to be some new fast travel locations. Other people have speculated that these actually are going to be points in which they shoot you up into the sky. And part of that rumor comes from the fact that you can go through the bottom of these structures in the sky surrounded by this green energy. So some people are thinking that you go up to one of these and it shoots you up into these areas, and then you just, pop out on the other side. Either way, these are going to definitely be discoverable locations that you can use. To what end exactly, we still are not 100% sure, but they will be scattered all across Hyrule. Now, as we stated when we talked about the story of Tears of the Kingdom, these tendrils of malice are starting to spread again. They're corrupting the world. And one of the key parts of this last trailer is the blood moon that is just menacingly standing in the sky, shooting out this malice all across the world. Not only that, but the malice that is shooting out from the blood moon is actually spawning out these enemies. So it's not just sitting in the sky to look menacingly, it is shooting out the things that we're going to be attacking here in Tears of the Kingdom. And that being said, we definitely have some confirmation of some new enemies and new enemy variations. And just looking at what this malice is doing already, you can see these new enemy variations of these bokoblins with these, like spears, horns on their head. You also get these massive new looking bokoblins, which, guys, these just look like terrifying. Another enemy type that I didn't actually catch on to, somebody else pointed it out, is that these look like reskinned Redeads, which honestly, man, these just look, I love this new design here. You also have these new like flying enemies that you can see. They almost look like frogs if you mix a frog with a bat. And if you catch it, for a brief moment on the bridge of Lake Hylia, you see a three-headed beast, almost looks like a dragon. Some people are claiming that this might be a Gleeok, a three-headed dragon from the earlier Legend of Zelda game. Now, I could be wrong, but I've got a feeling that you're not going to be taking this thing down anytime soon. We're also going to look at some of these enemies that are held together by this new, like, green-like magnesis power, which, like, this guy's literally, like, a bunch of boxes, you know? I mean, it looks really cool, but he literally is just a bunch of boxes. Now, while it seems like most of the monsters that we're going to experience are just kind of reskinned or refreshed monsters that we faced in Breath of the Wild, they are looking quite menacingly, and the new additions should be a pretty fun challenge. One of the things that we can also see in some of the new trailers and some of the concept art is this like hurricane-like thing that is plaguing the world of Hyrule. You can see as it's causing storms, and honestly, with the fact that we're going to be doing a lot of aerial travel, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of different things at play when it comes to traversing these areas, especially the ones in the sky. How it got there, the significance of it, where it's stemming from, are all seeming to be still a mystery. No matter where it's stemming from, it definitely seems like this is going to play a decent-sized part in our exploration of Hyrule in Tears of the Kingdom. It also seems like there's a number of these like patterns that we're going to find in the overworld that we have to view from up high in order to make sense of them. Now, this doesn't really surprise me because obviously one of the big features in Tears of the Kingdom is the exploration from up in the sky. And let's be honest, guys, you're like extremely high up in the air in this game. Whenever you watch Link just like jump down to the surface, it takes a while. It's a pretty big fall. But it seems like there are areas in this game where you'll have to view these things from up top to make sense of them, to figure out what they mean, what you need to do about them, all making use of this new vertical world. Speaking of this new vertical world, one of the things that is featured is the vehicles that we're going to experience in Tears of the Kingdom. It seems like through your time with this game, you're going to be putting together many different types of vehicles, whether that's just like a flat car or a hot air balloon or these flying gliding machines. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, I think the car looks a little awkward, but the flying machine and the hot air balloon I think look absolutely incredible. It'll be interesting to see if these are just like a pattern that you find, you put these pieces together, or if these are something that you can actually create yourself. My gut says is that the car is a car, the hot air balloon is a hot air balloon, but it would be kind of cool if we had a little bit of customization to these vehicles. Either way, a way to navigate the world in a new way is definitely an exciting thing that we can look forward to in this game. Now, while this has not been confirmed, I have ears, and so do you. And it looks like Ganondorf in this game is going to be voiced by none other than the legendary Matt Mercer.
Rise, rise, my servants. Sweep over Hyrule. Eliminate this kingdom and her allies. Leave no survivors.
Which honestly, I am a huge Matt Mercer fan, guys. I am incredibly excited for him to voice this role. Now, like I said, this is not actually a confirmed thing, but guys, let's be honest, we can recognize his voice from anywhere. It's also important to know that this is going to be one of the first Switch releases that is going to be releasing at a $70 price point USD. Now, while there are some people that are going to be upset about this, so unfortunately, this is just going to be the new normal price. We also have a confirmed release date for May 12th of this year, and it seems like with all the marketing that they're doing for this game, they don't seem to be backing down from this or expecting any kind of delays. I still wouldn't hold my breath, but that is when we are expecting to see this game. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking so far about Tears of the Kingdom. Is this something you're looking forward to, or is the hype just a little too much for this? We're going to be covering Tears of the Kingdom all the way up to its release and beyond, so make sure to hit that subscribe button for more information. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you're here. For more information about games that are coming up, check out this video over here, and I'll see you in the next one.